Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My brothers and sisters, we've reached that time of the year where I'm sure most of us have been invited to one party or another. Now, in short, I'm not going to waste your time. When it comes to parties and places where there's alcohol and mixing and any environment that you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to be pleased with, my brothers and sisters, in short, stay away from these places. Don't feel obliged and don't feel bullied to having to go to these places because, others may look at you differently. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us to please Him and Him alone. And don't ever please the creation by displeasing the Creator. You don't want to be associated with these places because when you're there, you become a part of the environment. No matter how strong you are in your faith, don't throw yourself in the fire because you will definitely get burnt. I want to share an example with you guys that happened with me in my life personally that I think you guys might find interesting. We used to do like a hadith course. We used to read from Riyadh-Salihin every Sunday morning. So anyway, cut a long story short, we got to the chapter where about not mixing between men and women, and shaking hands between men and women that are haram for you. So one of the brothers that was there who used to work in a corporate world, and when this topic came up and how, shaking of the hand of another woman is haram in Islam, and he went on and he went crazy and he couldn't believe that this is what the deen had to say about it. So cut a long story short, I remember he left that day saying, look, there's no way in the world I can do this at work. Sometimes I'm forced, I'm in a situation, I don't want to embarrass the woman, and that's rude and disrespectful. But what I find interesting is that he went, and then the following week when he came back, there was a very different look on his face. So I said to him, what happened? He said, man, you're not going to believe it. The Tuesday, he said, we had like a corporate meeting at work where all of the managers in the nation came for this meeting. I said to him, yeah. He said to me, so my manager from one state, she came in, and he said, then I met her for the first time in my life. He said, so when we got into the boardroom, when we got into the meeting room, he said to me, I walked over to her and I extended my hand to say hello. So she extended her hand and they shook hands, and he said to me, as we were shaking our hands, she said, it's finally nice to meet you, and put a face to the voice. And then she asked him about his name. They're still shaking hands, mind you. So she asked him about his name, and he said his name, which was an Islamic name. She asked him, you're a Muslim. So he smiled and he said to her, yes, I am. She said, that's interesting. I thought Muslims don't shake hands with women. This is why, both their hands were still together. Wallahi, my brothers and sisters, don't ever compromise on your deen. Trust me. I know I've been in the situation when a woman's put her hand out, and I've had to, look her and say, look, I can't shake your hand. Yeah, it's embarrassing as hell. I'm not going to run away from the fact. But that's my deen. And I know that moment, while it was embarrassing for her, I'm sure it made Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala happy because I stood firm. So once again, don't be forced, don't be bullied into thinking that you have to go to these places because people may think less of you. Don't. Stay away from these parties and these gatherings where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most certainly displeased with, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us all. And until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.